Hello everyone, welcome to A Crow in Her Garden. Today is July 18th and it has been a bit since I've done a full garden tour. So here we go. We'll start over here. This is my Cherokee purple tomatoes. They've got some fruit set, but it's been very, very, very hot. So, and when that happens, you'll see your fruit, setting blossoms, but then they just kind of dry up. But there are a few, and I'm excited to say I've got one tomato that's starting to ripen. Probably a few more days, and I'll pick that one, let it finish ripening on the counter. There is some splitting. We had some rain, and I think that happened after it rained. And over here, I've got my dad's sunset tomatoes. It's got a few fruits on it. There's one there in the back. It's doing all right. I have had to pull some fruit off because of blossom end rot, but still got some fruit set on it. And basil obviously tucked in there. I've harvested tons off of it, clipped it back several times. With this heat, it is really trying to flower, and I'm trying to prevent that, but what can you do? We'll just continue going on down this way. Now, these are my carbon tomatoes right here. They are doing fantastic. They've got loads of fruit set on them. And I'm looking, yay, starting to blush. It won't be long. I'm excited. I got my tomatoes planted out a little bit later than I usually do. And so, because usually I'm getting tomatoes right around the beginning of July. Ooh, you little bugger. If you get a bad infestation of caterpillars on any of your fruit, there's a stuff you can buy called BT that you can spray on your plants, and it is safe and organic. The caterpillars eat it and then they die. My basil plant's looking good. And here's some more carbon tomatoes down here. What is that? Well, there has been a little bit of blossom end rot, but it's not all the fruit. Like, see this one right here. Usually if it's really bad, the blossom end rot is really bad, and I'll just pull the fruit off, because by the time the fruit ripens, it won't be good, and I'd rather my plant put energy into tomatoes that don't have blossom end rot. So yeah, and here's some holy basil right here. And I can't wait. These peppers I planted very late, and you can tell that they are obviously stunted, struggling. I mean, this one's trying to make one ripen that isn't even really fully grown yet. Sad to say, my yard-long green beans, I have stopped harvesting them. They are literally covered with kudzu beetles. But so I won't spend too much time on those. My okra sadly keeps getting eaten by deer. I've had more pest issues this year than I ever had on any of my other years of gardening. I started in 2020 with the rest of the people who were stuck at home with nothing to do when COVID happened. But I've got other things growing. So we're going to come back up this way. This is the garden bed that had my potatoes. I'm letting it rest. Going to be adding some more compost nutrients to add to the soil. So, and then here I've got my rosemary, and my dill has gone to seed. I've been pulling these seed heads off and shaking all the seeds out. You can use it as an herb, a spice. Like when I make my pickles, I'm using a lot of dill seed rather than dill weed in my pickles, and it will lend the same flavor, so very good. This is my sage. I actually need to cut it back. It went to flower and it's kind of looking a little bedraggled. Coming around here, I got my jalapenos, which are absolutely loaded. Loaded with peppers. I'm so excited. It won't be long till I'll be starting to pick them. This is my cinnamon basil. I actually came out yesterday and because it was about twice as tall as this, and cut it down to have some dried cinnamon basil. Makes excellent tea. Coming around over here, I got my Berry's Crazy Cherry tomatoes. And they are beginning to ripen. Actually see some that I could pick right now. Look right here. Yay! Oh man. Dang ants. We got some rain, and so some of them have split a little bit. I think I can pick this entire branch. Goodness. It's kind of a hard angle to get at. Ooh. There we go. Woohoo! Berry's Crazy Cherry. Here's a couple more. I'm super excited. This is my favorite cherry tomato right here. And they are just, I mean, let me show you this branch back here. Loaded with fruit. This branch right here. And I can't believe this one here. I mean, look at this one here. Oh, wow. This is so heavy. I'm actually concerned that the plant might break from off that branch. So yep. I have been doing my best to keep these pruned. This is obviously a branch right here that I need to prune off to help them be a little bit easier to pick, a little bit easier to manage, not be so wild and crazy. Now, over here, I've got my Rosella cherry tomatoes, and there are several of these that I could pick too. Look at that. Well, stupid ants. I'll just have to make sure to rinse them off really good. We had some rain, and unfortunately, oh golly, they're like all over that. I'll rinse them off. Rain, and that made them split. I should have come out and picked picked them even though they weren't fully ripe when I knew that there was going to be a rain coming. We haven't had a good rain in so long, and so all that rain. Oop. Yay! This is what I want to be rolling in cherry tomatoes. I'll have to make sure to rinse these off really good. Rinse all the ants off of them. And this is my basil. Believe it or not, I harvested a massive amount of basil off of these two plants, and they've already begun to grow back and bush out more. So that's so funny. I wonder if these haven't ripened because they've been tucked in with that basil. Got a few more tomatoes that I can see to pick. Around over here on this side. Yay, not bad for a first harvest of Rosella cherries. Woohoo. All right. Well, let's come on down the way. These are my Roma tomatoes. They are certainly very bushy. I've been trying to see which tomatoes are going to be ready to pick soon. Now, there were a couple that I don't know if they had a disease or something, but they had, when I went to pick them, I saw that they had changed colors and they just kind of were rotted. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. I see something. Oh yeah, look at that. See that back there? Let's pick it. What the heck? Let's pick it. Oh yeah! That's a good healthy one. Could have gone another few days to ripen fully on the vine, but I'll set this on my counter and it will finish ripening. Like, see, there's those tomatoes that I picked off. So, oop, I see another one. See that back there? Oh, this is a good sized one. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Good, good, good. So I'm hoping I'll be rolling in Romas. This will be what I make the majority of my tomato sauce from. I just got to keep my eyes open, and anytime I see anything red, just going ahead and pick it. Now over here, let me show you the difference. You saw those other pepper plants that were really stunted. These are the ones that I got planted in a little bit sooner. All the seeds were started at the same time, but these are doing so much better compared to the other ones. And they are loaded with pimento peppers I've got here. And then over here, these are my California Wonder Bell peppers, which they're doing great. Full of fruit. See, look down in there. Oh, there's so much fruit. I'm so excited. I love red. I let them ripen all the way to red. So tasty. Great to eat fresh. And they also freeze beautifully too. So I harvest a lot, and whatever I know I can't eat fresh, I'll slice it up and freeze them, and then I'll have bell peppers that I can use to cook with for the whole year. And one of my favorite things to do with them is, especially the pimentos, is to cut the top off of them and core out the seeds and stuff them. My favorite way is with like taco meat and rice and cheese, and then freeze them like that. Makes for a really easy meal. Holy basil, banana peppers. I picked a ton off of these yesterday, so there are some fruits on them, but they're small. More holy basil. I can come out and harvest more of this to make more tea. And then we're finally back down here at the bottom again with my mini white cucumbers. I've picked a bunch, started making pickles. Yesterday I do refrigerator pickles. So, but like, I'm really so happy with the fact that this is literally just 2 plants, and I have gotten so many cucumbers off of these plants. Like, I picked a bunch off of them yesterday, and I see some that I can go on ahead and pick again today. You can pick them small. I might do a couple of jars of whole pickles, especially with the smaller cucumbers, but this is about the size that I like to get them. You could still do these whole, but I usually end up either slicing them or cutting them into spears. So, yep. And then over here I got my Armenian yard-long cucumber. I picked 2 off of it already. I've been watching, looking for any more male flowers. They are absolutely loaded with, they're loaded with male flowers, but I want female flowers, and I have not seen any. I don't know why I'm not seeing any more female flowers. So like, this is a male flower here, and you can always tell a female flower because it will have the stem on the back end of a female flower will be a lot longer and kind of bulbous, whereas see, the stem on the end of that flower is very short and very thin, so that makes it a male. And with this type of cucumber, you have to have male flowers and female flowers because the pollen has to go from the male flower to the female flower in order for it. But you can't get any fruits if you have no female flowers. So I don't know what happened with this plant, unless maybe I have to have 2 plants and only one of these survived. But, you know, things don't always work out the way I want them to, but everything is always a learning experience. So, and at least I got to taste 2 of the fruits that came off of it earlier, and that was enough to convince me to definitely grow these again, because they are the best cucumber I've ever eaten. Well, my friends, I got one more spot I want to show you guys, so hang on one second. All right, we're down here by my swing set trellis. This is where the spoon tomatoes and the Cucamelons are growing. My spoon tomatoes are doing great. I had to prune them back yet again. They just want to grow wild and crazy. But there are several tomatoes that are ready to be picked, which I'm going to get my son to come out here and do them, because he'll basically pick them off and eat them as he picks them off. The Cucamelons, they're growing great, have lots of vines, and I am seeing some tiny, tiny fruits, but I haven't seen any of them getting bigger. Let's see if I can find one. See, like, I don't know if the camera will focus. That right there, that's a Cucamelon. So I don't know if it's just not getting pollinated. The little fruits are right there. They're tiny. But I'm going to keep on waiting, keep on growing, keep on watering them. So, and that is officially the end of the garden tour. So, thank you so much for following along with me, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful day.